Good morning, everybody. It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, and hopefully you get taken out for supper, or if you're like my wife, you're probably bringing me supper in the field. Rain check that. Rain check it. We're going out for supper as soon as season's done. Who put Mother's Day in the middle of season anyway? But anyways, happy Mother's Day to everybody, and hopefully you get spoiled rotten. I'm up here, up at the North Farm. We're seeding lentils, and I wanted to show you some straw spreading from last year's harvest, or lack thereof, I guess. Anyways, here, let's just jump. It's a little windy outside, so brace yourself. I do not have Hammy with me. I don't know. I think I lost Hammy. I think he ran off. He found an opportunity and he took it. So this is from an S series, and we were out here combining in some tougher conditions. I don't think the crop went crazy. I think it was around that 65 bushel wheat crop, this particular field. But it was definitely tough because we had a bunch of fall rains and we were combining it and putting it right into the dryer. We're probably taking like 20% moisture. So it was definitely a little bit on the tough side. The combines that were up here, we had 2 X's and one or two 2S series? I can't remember. I don't remember actually, to be honest with you, but it doesn't matter. The X's did a decent job of spreading. We'll get over there and we'll show you that when we get there. Right now we're on the side that the S series we're working on, and they had the tailboard spreaders with the spin spreaders at the back. I also have one with premium power cast, but I was not running that one. So obviously quite a bit of organic matter here. No grain in that head, that's good. Checking to see what we were throwing over there last year. So obviously, this is actually not bad. This is not bad. Brace yourself. We're going for some wind. This is not good. Like, that's not great. Try and block this wind. Like, there ain't nothing coming through this. I might as well just bail this. I should have bailed this. I should have just dropped the straw and bailed this, to be honest with you. So this is going to be not great for the lentils to come through. I mean, very few lentils are going to come through that. And we had our blades in, by the way. But it was tough spreading conditions. Woo! Let's try to get behind this drill. I wanted to take you over here, but I think it's going to be too windy by the time I get out there. I'm just going to zoom in. Hold on. Look at all that. I was actually plugging in that stuff. That over there is more severe than that. This isn't too bad. Probably a different combine if I had the 2 up here. This one might have had, I don't know. That one obviously needs better knives, clearly. But even that's quite a bit. I don't really like that either, because it's clearly you can see it's not spreading very wide, because there's nothing here. Way too much, nothing. Way too much, nothing. Way too much, nothing. The 50 or the X series, it would be a full canopy. All right, let's get back in this cab. Wow. Okay. I guess I should turn on the guidance. There we go. There, now you can get a better look of chunkies. So a little update. We started off with 3 drills, but that older drill, we're having some wiring harness issues. When we put the wiring harness in, or when we got the wiring harness installed, there must have broke a wire in there somewhere. So haven't actually been able to use the drill, which sucks because we loaded it up and we fought with it for a full day. And after we fought with it for a full day and only did 80 acres, we're like, okay, we're done with this. And then the 540, once we thought that we figured out the drill issue, once we thought we did, the 540 threw up a transmission code, which I believe is just a sensor because everything else is fine. There's nothing leaking. But anyway, you can't put it in gear, so it's out in the middle of the field somewhere. We're gonna have to get a tech to come take a look at that tractor. So we are just gonna go with the 2 main drills. Maybe we should just focus on that to begin with. But in saying that, we probably wouldn't have used the 540 this year, to be honest. Probably wouldn't have used it, except for this little bit of seeding. And I would rather find out that there's a problem with the tractor now than next year this time. Because if we don't use it for harvest, it's just literally sitting around. So, and then we only get like 1 year bumper to bumper warranty. Well, I'm dragging a plug. Shouldn't have talked so fast that I could get through this stuff. See that spread? It's pretty thick. It's a thick canopy. Clearly, if we were trying to win Farmer of the Year award, which we're not, we were not even nominated, by the way, we would get a harrow, and we would start harrowing that mess. Look at that. Yeah. That's 2 passes. The combine right there. Isn't that nasty stuff? That's S series. S series was on the south end of this field. Wow. Steered. I'm gonna drop my pressure down on my packing pressure so my openers are a little more bouncy, loosey goosey. Hopefully I can push this through some of these plugs. Okay, now we're switching to this side, and I bet you it ends here because we cut this field in half right here, and we had X's over here. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Now, to be fair, we may have had different harvesting conditions. I don't remember if this side was drier than that side. I'd have to go back in my combine videos. A little wet out here as well. Making a few ruts. I think of it, I think we did this side first. And we did that corner over there at night. After the rain. This might have been done before the rain, to be honest with you. But I know that the X's were on the north side of that corner, so we'll get there. We'll get there. When I say X's, I mean X9, in case you guys are wondering. And the S-Series were S790s with 45-foot heads, and the X's had 50-foot heads. The management pulling through some of these wet spots, though we're gonna leave tracks because nothing likes to grow in the mud. Okay, see you at the other side of the field. Oh yeah, I forgot. Mike, why don't you just seed this? You're going east and west. Why don't you seed it north and south? Because north and south is a half-mile pass. East and west is a mile-long pass. I prefer the mile-long passes. But most importantly, I want to put it between the rows. Let's see if I can zoom back here. Hold on. Whoa, not that much. You can hardly even tell that I've seeded in some places. And I always use my nudge buttons to keep me right in between the rows. Because I want to put these lentils right in between my durum rows, so that way they kind of have something they can stand on and grow with. Lentils up here, they do go down. So that's the reason why. Yes, you could angle, but then obviously you're not putting it in between the rows, so that's the reason. It's relatively easy to see between the rows with a 12-inch spacing drill. Like, you can hardly even tell that I seeded that. Yeah, relatively easy. Oh, but speaking about our bipolar air cart we got here, this is the second time. The first time it was metering about 5% too much. So yeah, let's start this again. And then we'll go back in here and let's just hit this so that way everything matches. That way all these theoreticals match the scale. And let's give it another 30 minutes and I'm sure tank 5 will have a problem or something. Tank 1 might be back saying it's metering 7% heavy now. And we already stopped and calibrated again this morning. Popped in this thing and it said tank 5. We last did nodulator. Tank 5 was out by 109%. And I'm like, it said 109%. I'm like, go back, inspect, recal. I'm like, holy crap. All right. We'll go back and inspect. It was out. It was out. On the monitor, it was out by 101%. So that's pretty close. So put that back in. This cart, it's a love-hate relationship. I like the scales. I like to have the monitor for the accuracy when I actually want to finish a field. But I hate this cart. Like, you never second guess yourself so much in your entire life as when you farm with a 9,000 series bar. Oh, holy crap, this thing. Give it a few hours. It's going to have something else to say. It'll probably say it's out by 75% and I should probably get out and recalibrate again. I've already recalibrated once. And I recalibrated the night before. I'm sick of recalibrating. I've never recalibrated a cart so much in my entire life. This is going to be a challenge. I guess maybe we shouldn't try and see through this. You know, maybe a little bit on the wing. Nobody. Just get it in there. Classic. I know you guys are like, Mike, how come you're seeding water? Seriously, guy, just go around it. Like, you're just making a mess of your field. Because there's a lot to go around. And it's just like, you know what? I think that's halfway dry. We're just going to cut her straight. There's a lot to go around. Well, maybe that's just a little bit wet there. Drop my pressure down here. After all, I'm trying to give those little seeds a bath. Don't you guys ever take a bath or a shower? Exactly. Exactly my point. Come on. Come on, Bessie. There we go. That's why. You just kind of, you make it work. There's a lot of water out here and you can't go around every little slope, so you just drag the drill through. That's the great thing about these drills. You can just drag these suckers right through mud. I think it might be where the X is going. So we'll get out next pass here maybe. Alright, so it's quite windy out there. Maybe I should try to talk a little bit in here. So yeah, we are where the X's were here. You can clearly look behind me. I'm going to zoom in. We're seeding between the rows and there's really no clumps. You can tell that there's quite a bit of straw mat back there because it was tough conditions. But it's not like over here. It's not like that. Pretty big difference. Now, perhaps the blades on the S series were getting dull, but also perhaps the blades on the X series were getting dull. All the combines came to the farm with a fresh green light, if you can call it that, I guess. Remember the problems we had there last year, but definitely an actual spread of full 50, 100%, and the S is clearly not. Now we're going to jump outside. Tell there's good canopy here. This is what I want. So I want a nice canopy across everything. Not as much here though. See? See in between the rows? That's what I want. Seed in between the rows, seed in between the rows, seed in between the rows. See, it's not chunky. We don't want chunky. There, just wanted to point out some of the differences. Now we're gonna get out of the wind and we're gonna keep seeding. Okay guys. That's the lentils.